Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome back to another Asphalt 9 video. Yes, I know it's been a while since I made an Asphalt 9 video, and that is just partly due to me being very busy and I wanted to try and cover other games besides Asphalt 9, so that's why I've made that Racing Master video and some other Asphalt videos as well. Now, just as sort of some updates before I get into today's topic, I will be hopefully making another video on Racing Master as the beta comes to a close within the next couple of days, so I'm just sort of playing as much as I can and gathering my thoughts so I can make a proper beta feedback video for the second beta for Racing Master. And then besides that, I'm just always on the lookout for other things related to Asphalt and racing games and just, you know, mobile gaming in general. And I'm contemplating making a video on the Battlefield 2042 beta because I played that a lot and I do have some thoughts about it, but let me know in the comment section down below if there's anything that interests you or any specific video that you would like to see. So anyway, the title of this video is going to be Asphalt 9 Stagnation, and that's the other reason why I haven't really made a lot of videos related to Asphalt 9 lately, and that's because in my opinion the game has sort of started to stagnate. I've talked about this a while ago and for a long time now, but with the current gaming landscape, constant updates are something that unfortunately has become the norm, and I say unfortunately because I know it gives a lot of players, you know, a constant stream of things to do, but on the other side, in my opinion, it makes it so the quality of that content has gone down drastically. And so Asphalt 9 is an example where we get constant updates, or at least we get seasonal updates, but a lot of the times those updates are not very large in the amount of worthy content. A lot of it is just new cars. And while that's certainly a good thing, I would prefer if the team would work on bigger updates and deliver them, you know, in those bigger packages but less often. So maybe instead of getting a bunch of new cars every couple of months, maybe one update every half year or so, we got this huge new update with a new track and some quality of life improvements and some new cars, of course, because, you know, this is a racing game. Again, I'm not within Gameloft. I have no idea what they're planning and what they're doing. That's just sort of my view on it, because at the end of the day, for me, at the, I would say, year-and-a-half mark of Asphalt 9, I sort of saw everything the game could offer. And for me, since then, it has really only been about the actual content surrounding the game rather than playing the game itself. And that's what's really worrying me about Asphalt 9, because it's no longer about necessarily playing the game. It's now about what are the cars, what are the events, and, you know, what are the developers doing and everything like that. When a game starts to be more about its surrounding elements rather than the core gameplay, that gets a bit worrying for me, because that means that players don't actually care that much about how the game plays itself, and it's really more, again, about the surrounding elements. And so I wanted to talk about that today and hopefully offer some ways around it. Mainly for me though, and I've talked about this before, it's that we really need some new drastic game mode. Not something that is just a slight change on what we have before, kind of like what nitro pollution was, but we need something bigger. We really need something that really changes the way you play the game and how the tracks sort of are played. And look, I don't really have many suggestions because frankly, I don't have a lot of time to think about this sort of thing. And I'm also not being paid to think about, you know, what can be improved for Asphalt 9. So it's tough for me to really say, and it's also tough for me to think about, okay, would this work, would that work, and everything like that. And before I go on, I would love to hear your suggestions in the comments. What do you think should be changed or added to Asphalt to really give it some new life? Now, I will also say that we are, of course, expecting the big club update. And the problem is, again, it sort of starts to focus more on the things surrounding the actual game rather than the core gameplay itself. And I love the clubs feature in Asphalt 9. I think it really has made a big improvement to the community and the way that we look at things like events and time-limited events especially, and multiplayer. And so I'm hoping that the club update emphasizes these aspects of the game and really makes it more of a social experience. And we'll just have to wait and see. I'm very excited for this update because I think it could be that spice of life that this game really needs to get reinvigorated. But beyond that, like I said, I think we really need stuff that changes the core aspect. And I don't mean changes in the sense that what we've practiced for so many years just becomes irrelevant. Like now, you know, a top time on a track with a specific car doesn't apply anymore. I don't really mean that. I think the core gameplay of Asphalt 9 is good as it is, but I just mean different game modes, different additions that change that core gameplay in a new environment or in a new way. Like I said, a game mode could be one of those ways. So again, we don't have to necessarily remove what we already have, we just have to take it, update it, and change it around, and we can still have the core gameplay that we've known for a while, but just in a separate area, I guess. And so that's the way that I would look at reinvigorating the community and the game itself, because that's why I play Asphalt 9. I really love all the surrounding elements. I love collecting cars, I love customizing them, I love the clubs and everything, but if the game itself isn't fun for me to play, then I don't really have too much of a reason to do so. And so that's one of the reasons why I haven't been playing a lot of multiplayer, especially because I've just been playing it for so long and it's just the same kind of thing over and over again. So we really need some sort of big change. Now the other thing I wanted to mention is they're doing these weird little events and things which I kind of like. One of the most recent ones is actually really interesting. There is a Lego Technic McLaren Senna Grand Prix, which is really cool. You actually play a normal Grand Prix like you normally would, but you get to use a Max Senna, which is like the Lego Technic version, which I guess has different stats than the actual Senna. But at the end, unfortunately, you don't get to be able to unlock the car. You just get blueprints for various McLaren cars, and not a lot of them, especially at the tier 1. So again, it's sort of like if you already have these cars at max or at high stars, do you really want to practice and play as hard as you can in this Grand Prix just to get a couple blueprints for cars that maybe you're so far away from unlocking anyway that the blueprints won't really matter? So again, rewards not really matching up with the amount of effort that players put in is kind of a weird thing that needs to be fixed as well, in my opinion. But this kind of stuff is really cool, but once this Grand Prix is over, well, we won't be able to unlock that Lego car, and so it's just kind of something that comes up and then quickly fades away. And again, it's a Grand Prix, it's something we already know, and so the only thing that's really changed is just the car that we're playing with, which again isn't necessarily the core gameplay, it's just one of the surrounding elements to the game. And especially because we won't be able to keep the car, and the car won't become a meta part of the multiplayer experience or anything like that. Again, it's just kind of changing things here and there, but the core gameplay itself isn't really affected. So anyway guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys later.